Hi friends! Today I want to make a product review and specifically of these 12 half pans of Winsor and Newton watercolors. It has different products like acrylics, oil painting, wash, watercolors, and what is good about Winsor and Newton is that they have two different directions with really high quality pigments that they are working for professional line, for a professional artist line, and those watercolors usually have a lighter color, a brighter color, and it is better in terms of pigments. Then it has its student grade watercolors. This pocket is all about it. It is a great option because the pigments are a little bit cheaper, and what makes that these watercolors to be more affordable for anyone who wants to initiate in watercolors, or for somebody who just wants to have a small pocket-sized watercolors to go for urban sketching and to enjoy plein air watercolors. My name is Ala and welcome to my YouTube channel. Let's start to review these watercolors. So let's start. As far as you see, this pocket-sized palette of Winsor & Newton is really comfortable because it is really easy to use it on the go. Before we start, I want to show you that this Winsor & Newton is not a new watercolors for me. Yeah, I used it a lot. I have these pens for almost 2 years now. I used it for plein air paintings, and as well I enjoy it here at my home to paint with this. Later I will show you several paintings that I made with these watercolors, and even if it is a student grade watercolors, I want to mention that it has a really good pigment, and I really advise for those who initiate in watercolors to start with something more affordable and that have a pleasant watercolor pigment. When we start to use usually pens, what we do first is we wet each pen with water, because in this way it is easier to use the color itself. We will make some swatches, and as I mentioned, after we will make the swatches, I will show you several works that I made with these watercolors, that you can see that even with these colors we can make some interesting effects, and we can work with those. I already prepared my paper with specifically for this pocket box that is half pens, and here I have written already all the colors that I have. Let's start with lemon yellow hue. You see that this color is pretty bright, really yellowish and beautiful. Hope you see it better over here. Winsor & Newton offers a spectrum of 40 colors and different pigments. And as I mentioned previously, they offer as well high quality pigments and more affordable alternatives. For example, this specific watercolors is more affordable, and you can probably see that the price is much cheaper than any other traveler sized pocket boxes with watercolors. I went to cadmium yellow hue. Cadmium yellow is one of the colors that it is used as primary colors, then for creating different pigments and colors. I see this color cadmium yellow really beautiful over here, and I would say that the pigment is really high qualitative and interesting. We are moving on with cadmium red pale hue. I find this hue more like orange hue than modern cadmium red that I use from White Nights. It is really beautiful, but still, when I was using these pocket-sized watercolors, I found out that I missed a lot some reddish colors. This is more like red-orange, I would say, than a clear red colors. Next color we have alizarin, crimson hue, as well, really beautiful color. And let's move on with ultramarine color. I'll take more color. Ultramarine color in every brand is a granulating color, granulation. It has granulation, and what it means is that the color itself is not so light. It has like different dots that are darker, but this happens because of the texture of the paper. For a student grade color, ultramarine is amazing. Apart from watercolors, Winsor and Newton is producing as well acrylics, oils, watercolors, gouache, brushes, canvases, papers, inks, graffiti and colored pencils, markers. So this brand is really wide and it creates different lines of work. Here we have intense blue, Talho blue, and I think this blue is simple, amazing. This blue I use less in my watercolors, and I think that I use it less because I find it too blue and too cold, and ultramarine is more warmer color, and for this reason I think that I use more ultramarine than phthalo blue color. Now we are going with viridian color. The main colors that like ultramarine, cadmium yellow color, I see those like a perfect option for student grade color because the colors are still clean and do not have too many additional pigments. Instead, for example, viridian, I see it like a little bit too much because it is not so clean color. It has like different pigments on it. And usually if you have worked with some blue greener color, you would see that this color is much lighter and brighter. And now I'm using sap green color. This color I actually don't like too much, even if I have used it a lot, because I found it that it has too many pigments on it and it is not a clean green that I would like to use, like for example in White Nights pens. So we have 4 more colors to go. Yellow ochre, burnt sienna. I have a tissue over here to remove the excess of water, as coral is taking too much water. Burnt umber. Burnt umber as well, it is not really clear and is not having like a really beautiful brown color. I totally admit that I like other brown colors. Even burnt sienna is much more beautiful than burnt sienna umber in this case. And white. Actually, you won't see much difference between the white color and on the paper, but what I want to show you is that this white is actually opaque color and it covers, for example, in this case you can see that it covers my lines made with micron and is not so transparent. Here we have all the palette after it dried completely. What I can say that the colors are beautiful and very vibrant. Some of the colors indeed are not so vibrant. For example, as I mentioned, burnt umber, viridian color are not so clean colors. But anyway, I think that this 12 half pans color palette is just perfect for starting an urban sketching or to initiate in watercolors as an artist. Now let's move on to the works that I did with these amazing watercolors and what effects I have created. These are some postcards that I created on Christmas time, and I applied different greens, I applied some brown colors. Here I used only a phthalo blue color. I didn't make use of any other colors. I tried to make a monochromatic work. Over here I tried to create some sunset vibes, and I think that the colors are vibrant enough, and it created a pretty good job. Some lemonade, it is summer, sunny day in the woods, the field of daisies, these watercolors, this one from a camping course I have created with these watercolors. And now I will show you some of the works that I prepared for a special course. It is about wild animals, and I worked with Winsor and Newton Cotman watercolors. I worked with this palette on all these beautiful wild animals. I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you have any questions, please leave a comment. I would be really happy to answer all of your questions. And if you have any specific addition that I didn't mention throughout the video, please let me know. I would be really happy to read all your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and thumbs up. Thank you very much. Bye.